Hello, and welcome to the second part in what's hopefully going to be a multi-part tutorial for StarBase. Quick disclaimer, currently in closed alpha on the 4th of January 2020. Everything from now is correct. In the future, stuff will change. This will probably become obsolete really fast, at which point I'll probably make a new tutorial series. Fun. Anyways, disclosure out of the way, into the video. We're gonna start here. This is the most asked question I have seen about YOLOL in general. Is how do I get YOLOL stuffs to work? Here we go. First thing, you're gonna need a YOLOL rack, 48 by 48 by 48 centimeter. You are then gonna want a 2-slot. It's very important. Your first one is a 2-slot. You'll see why in a second. Go ahead. Press fun fact, Shift-C will toggle snapping. So right now, this doesn't snap in. Shift-C, it now snaps in. You want to make sure that your little tab is the correct way. So then that works. That's now all good. You then want to take your 2 YOLOL chips. You really only need basic unless you're doing advanced stuffs. And you take your chips and you slide them in. Now, you need the 2-slot, so then you can go ahead and take cable, pop it in. Now you're good. What if you want more, though? Aha! I see that you want some more YOLOL things. Well, now that you have this 2-1, these things right here are little connection points. Go ahead, on the side, on the back, up top, doesn't matter, up to you. For this, I'm gonna go up. So now that we have another one, what we need under device, YOLOL, so we can now use a 3-slot. And then put that in. Hey presto, you now have even more YOLOL racks. And we don't need a 2-slot because this 2-slot here with the cable connection is going into this whole thing, which is then sending power and data up to here. This can now do all of its YOLOL stuff and then send it out. All good. Hey presto. And now, there's a good chance you're here only for that. And so if so, you're welcome. However, we're going on to more stuffs now, like network relays. Ooh. Now you know a little bit about YOLOL, or at least how to set it up. I'm not really going to go over how to program. I'm not qualified. There are other tutorials for that, which I'll try and find and link in the, I don't know, iCard in the description at the very least. However, ooh, what's it? Networking. This is fun. I have just recently found out how to use these recently. It's brilliant. Let's take one of these. Okay, so we now have our memory relay attached up to our little YOLOL center. And inside of this, we put memory chips. Now, it is very important. You see these arrows. Now, what does this do? Say if we take this and we go... let's name it as, good old high. High is going to get converted into A. That's what it does. So we can reference A, and it will go ahead, and it will be high. So that way you could take very long things of, say, like that, and it can convert all of that into B. Nice. However, for this to actually work, you're gonna need to go ahead, take some of this, take some cables, connect it up. And then, once you do that, it can go over and connect it up. Just like that. Now let's go ahead and test it. Go over here, name this as A, and then let's also name this as high. Just a test. Now you can see that when we press high, A turns on because of this absolutely beautiful relay thing. So, what else could you do? Well, a project that I'm going to be doing in the future is chess, really. I'm going to try and make chess in StarBase or Nefeltoffel, one or the other. Well, if we're not able to make huge art on here and then pop it into a YOLOL chip. That would just take too many characters. Here's what we can do. Did I mention I wasn't qualified for this? Yeah, I couldn't get it to work. Yeah, network relays are absolutely brilliant and I love them. However, I'm almost nowhere near smart enough to be able to use them effectively because there's like 15 minutes of uncut footage of me trying to figure out how to do something as an example, and it didn't go well. However, they're brilliant and smarter people can use them much better than I can. So this is actually, whilst I'm currently editing this, I realized I didn't go over memory chips at all. We touched on them a little bit when we were doing the relays. However, we didn't explain them in actual YOLOL chips, and they are very useful. So, what it does is it allows for basically device fields to be referenced on other chips, even though they're not anywhere on your chip. Now, that sentence probably is quite confusing. However, I'll show you what I mean. Here we have high1 is the device field which we have on our memory chip right now. If we go here, if on1 is equal to 1, then high1 will equal to 1. That's probably gibberish for you, though essentially, if this button is on, then our high value, our memory chip value, will be equal to 1. Though on a separate chip, then we have if high1 is equal to 1, then we will get an output. The high 1 in this case is being stored on the memory chip. Without this memory chip, it won't work. Don't believe me? Well, if we click on, then hey presto, our output comes on. However, if we are to say, get rid of this memory chip, actually rename it back to high 1, then you will see that our output no longer works. Because, yeah, high 1 is in the chips are working, though the data field high 1 is nowhere in the system. It is not anywhere on this chip for it to be changed. It has to be stored on the memory chip, or in a panel, or in something, for its data to be changed. For, in this case, from a 0 to a 1. And that's the memory chips. And really, that is all there is to at least the non-coding functions of all the networks and relay stuffs. So, it's really useful. And I will try and find a tutorial of how to actually program, or at least the basics of programming. Oh, one more thing though. This right here is a basic chip. Under devices YOLOL, there is basic, advanced, and professional chips. They all do various stuffs. For instance, advanced and professional chips can do trigonometry. However, the basic chips, it's a basic chip. It's not able to do advanced math. Anyways, that is it for this video, and I hope you learned something a little bit new. And maybe you make brilliant ships with this knowledge. Anyways, goodbye for right now. I have more videos and tutorials to record. Have fun.